So here we are on Halloween, and actually one of my favorite times of the year. And in a Halloween class, what pose do you need to start in? Anyone guess? You're all muted. We have to start in corpse pose, right? For Halloween. So go ahead and lie down on your backs. And if you want to put anything under your knees, like a bolster, anything under your head, we're going to do a little meditation here. Actually, what I'm going to do is put a spell on you. So go ahead and lie down and get comfy. So we are deep in Scorpio season, deep in metal season, and tonight is Halloween or Samhain. That's how I always heard it pronounced. I heard it pronounced differently today. So if someone is a Wiccan and can correct my pronunciation of Samhain. That's what I always had heard it to be. But someone else said something really unusual. So I'm open to be schooled and educated. But we are here, All Hallows Eve, ready to celebrate all that is witchy. And let's start by taking a deep breath in. Big exhale out. And you find yourself here in corpse pose, close to the earth. And I want you to really feel that. I want you to feel that connection to our home. Witches are very much associated with nature and nature magic and make use of all the wonderful tools of nature, the toadstools and the herbs. And, they have lots of animal friends known as familiars. So if you have a favorite little pet, maybe your cat is with you, or maybe you have a toad. Whatever your familiar is, whether that is actually live and with you or just in your heart, just call to mind your favorite spirit animal to be with you on this journey. And we're going to start my spell with some breath work. So as you're lying on the ground, just bring your awareness right to the center of your chest. And imagine that you're breathing out of the center of your chest. You inhale and expand. Exhale, draw the energy back in. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract back in. A couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, now on the next inhale, actually pause on that. Just keep breathing naturally. And I want you to become aware of the space above you. So just above your chest as you're lying on the ground. Imagining what is above you in the spirit world. So right now, the veil is at its thinnest, the veil between the living and the dead, between the material and the spiritual. So with the next inhale, I want you to extend your chest with your breath, reaching up into that spirit space above you. On the exhale, draw them into your heart. So whoever might be hanging around with you today, loved ones, anyone who is no longer in their body, and you can bring in anyone you want. So most likely, the people who are closest to us are the ones that tend to hang out by us, but you could call in others, other famous witches of the world. And that includes, I think, pretty much any woman who's had a bit of power and it stood up to the patriarchy. So we could bring in Ruth Bader Ginsburg, could bring in Harriet Tubman. Just think of all these wonderful women throughout history. Joan of Arc. Okay, so you're breathing up into the spirit world, connecting, drawing them into your heart. Now just become aware of the space to the left of you. And imagine that you could breathe even out of your left arm. So the whole left side of your body now, with each breath, is going to connect to the space to the left of you. So inhale, extend your energy out. Exhale, draw their energy in. Inhale, we move out. Exhale in. One more inhale out. Exhale in. And then connect with the energy, the space to your right. Just feel it. It's potent space, filled with energy, filled with spirits. So on the inhale, like you're breathing with your right arm, breathing out into the spirit world. Exhale, drawing it in. Inhale, out, reaching and touching. Exhale, drawing them in. One more time. Inhale, out to the right. Exhale, draw in. Now beneath you, deep in the underworld, all our ancestors are literally in the earth. Their spirits are all around us. Ooh, I feel like I just saw a spirit fly. But our ancestors, their remnants, their bones, what remains of the flesh and the bone is in the earth. So drawing up strength from all the ancestors. On the inhale, draw them into your body. On the exhale, send a little bit of yourself back down. Inhale, draw up and into your body. Exhale, send the energy back down. 2 more times. Inhale, draw up and in. Exhale, release it back down. Last time, inhale, up and in. Exhale, release it back down. Now we're going to breathe from all 4 directions. So above us, below us, to the left, to the right. Okay, so let's draw in. So inhale, we'll draw them in. Exhale, feel the energy extend out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, extend the energy out. 2 more. Inhale, draw in, and feel a sense of drawing into your body. Exhale, letting go. 1 more. Inhale, draw in. Feel all these spirits like a warm little hug, kissing you, giving you support, and exhale. Thank you with gratitude. Okay. So, lying on the earth, we've connected with the spirit world all around us. And we're going to let the veil of our ego identity soften a little bit as well. So with each exhale, imagine the boundaries of your body starting to dissolve a little bit. So inhale, you feel your body. Exhale, feel the edges get softer. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, spread out. Let the energy spread out. Inhale, draw in. Exhale, the energy spreads out. Each time you exhale, you're inhaling. Each time you exhale, that energy gets a little wider. Feeling yourself as spacious, more connected energetically to your energetic body, to your sense of self as energy, less about the bones and muscles, feeling yourself as spirit. And again, if there's anyone who you think would be helpful to draw in, invite them, because I'm sure I only came up with a few. So again, just asking anyone to be present with you. So loved ones who have passed, teachers, mentors, spiritual guides and gurus, wise women. And just get a sense of their energy around you. And Morgan, we're just lying flat in Shavasana, corpse pose, feeling the spirits in the room that we've called in, not to scare us, but to be present with us, to bear witness, to support us, to be here at a time when we very much need all the help we can get. And maybe one of them comes over to you and just strokes your forehead or puts a hand on your shoulder or your heart. Just feel that connection. Going back deep into the center of your chest, I want you to connect with your inner witch. So this is the part of you that is a healer, the part of you that feels connected and deeply appreciative of the gifts and the magic of nature, the trees, the herbs, the animals, the mushrooms. Connecting to that part of ourselves that just like that impulse in nature that always says yes to life, continues to grow. Yes, there is death, there is decay, but there is rebirth, and the constant cycle continues. And you're a part of that. And you experience that each time you inhale and each time you exhale. So that inner witch is the part of you that is powerful, the part of you that knows how to use your energy and how to empower others to do the same. The part of you that feels connection to all of life and to the magical spider web. I have my spider candles here. Of interconnection of all beings. And the part of you that's willing to stand up to injustice, to defend those who may be in some way vulnerable, to stand up for truth and justice, to speak truth to power, and to get ready. Let's do it. Let's do it, witches. This is our time to dissolve the patriarchy, at least to soften it. So take a deep breath in. Oh, oof. And let's rub our hands together. If you want to cackle a little, I can't cackle. And then bring your hands to your chest and just set an intention for tonight. for what you need most or what would most serve the world right now. And then go ahead and release your hands. We're going to bring our knees into our chest. So if you have a bolster or something, just take that out of the way. I'm going to remove my hat so I can do some yoga. So we're just rocking on our low back, side to side. And then we're going to start rocking lengthwise, up and down. And if you want to add a cackle, that is a very good way to release energy. So, and rock all the way up to seated. Now I got crazy witch hair because I've got all these pins in it. All right, we are going to get on our brooms and ride our broom. And if you have a bolster, you might want that. And if you have 2 blocks, go ahead and grab those. So the blocks we're going to put up at the top of our mat. The bolster is just for your knee, and you may or may not want to use this. I'm going to use this because this floor is pretty hard. I don't have my new rug yet. And we're going to come into, so your choice. You could either ride your broomstick or you could ride a dragon. So if you feel a connection to dragons, that's great too. You can get on your dragon. If not, use your trusty broom. And how we're going to do this, we're going to bring our left foot forward. My right knee is either on the mat or on a bolster, just to support the knee. And we're going to walk this left foot forward enough so that we can sink the pelvis down. And let me do this sideways for you. So from here, the hips sink. Okay. So we call this dragon in yin, but I don't know why it sort of looked to me like the shape you might be in if you were riding your broom. So the key, because we are yinny witches, is we got to get quiet and still. So a couple things you can do. You can just drop your chin into the chest. You could walk your hands forward a little bit. You might be able to come down onto your forearms. Some people like to make a little table. And even if you're just simply upright, just come with the intention to release and drop the mind. So drop the thinking mind. The only way that we can tap into the wisdom that is actually always accessible to us, but we don't hear it because we're all in our head, we're all on our phones, and it's too cluttery. The messages can't get through. All these lovely spirits all around are tapping you constantly on the shoulder going, oh, honey, be so much easier if you just went that way instead of that way. But we don't see it. So they communicate to us in symbols, signs, synchronicities, but we gotta drop down. We gotta drop out of that busy mind and into the deep yinny space. So for the next several breaths, just sink that pelvis down. So you close your eyes, see yourself riding on your broom, floating and flying through the sky. God, that must be so wonderful. So feel it now in your body, that sense of freedom. breaths here. Keep letting the hips sink. Keep letting that right leg, the front of the thigh really open, soften. Just a few more breaths. Okay, now we're going to curl the back toes. We're going to shift the hips back, straighten the front leg, and let's do some point and flex. So we're going to flex the toes, point the toes. Flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. Okay, now we've got a couple of options. You can sit back on your heel, which will be very intense on that right foot. So maybe easier is to uncurl the toes and you can sit on it like this. And we're just going to do a little forward bend. Now, the most advanced version would be to sit to the inside of the foot, which is like a half virasana. And we'll go ahead and keep this leg straight with the foot flexed. And then if you can, take a bolster on top of your blocks. We're just going to make a little pillow. Let's take 5 more breaths. Just dropping, releasing, getting deeper into that well of wisdom and power. We're tucking the chin into the chest. We'll start to straighten up the spine. You can bring your bolster to the side, and then we're gonna just use our hands actually to come back into the lunge. And this is what we're gonna do now. We're gonna bring both blocks to the inside of that left foot. We're gonna move the left foot over a little bit to the left. And depending on your foot, you might roll to the outer edge. If that doesn't feel good, you just turn the toes a little bit to the right. And now we're going to get a little bit lower if you can. So you might come down to forearms on your blocks. You can also use your blocks and rest your head in your hands. Or if you liked the little table, you can add just to soften it. So the difference is a little bit lower, left leg out. Still on our brooms, flying all over America, telling people to vote. Couple more breaths. Okay, and then slowly coming back up. Bring your left knee back underneath your hip. Move these blocks off to the side. And this, before we do the other side, let's just do some torso circles. So I'm gonna take my hands a little forward of my shoulders, my knees just a little wider than my hips. And then I'm gonna circle all around, really loose. Okay, we're stirring the brew. Let your head hang. It's a huge cauldron. And your belly button is the stick that we're stirring with. And reverse directions. Good. And then slowly make your way back to tabletop. Again, if you're using the bolster under your knee, you can add that. Let's place our blocks back at the top of the mats. And we'll step the right foot through this time. Okay, and I like to do this sideways so you can really see me. Okay, so I start with my foot here, but I'm gonna move it forward so I have space to really drop the pelvis down. And once I come to what feels like a comfortable edge, it doesn't have to be the farthest, I'm gonna try to relax. So that might just be dropping the head. I might, depending on how the body feels, come down onto my elbows. Or again, you can make that table with your bolster. And in yin, because we use support and we're not really engaging muscularly, you can even allow your knee to come forward of the toes, if that feels good. It's a little different stretch, a little bit more in the back of the calf, the Achilles. But you will mostly feel sensation in the hip flexors, those muscles on the top of the thigh, right to the inside of the hip bones. Just let it soften, melting, flying. Feel that sense of freedom, unconstrained, the night sky, your entire playground. Ah. A little deeper, a little lower. Couple more breaths. Now push down into your blocks to lift the hips up. Just be gentle because that's a pretty deep stretch. Walk the blocks back. We're going to straighten this front leg. Let me just shake it out. And then flex, point, flex, point, flex, point, flex, point. One more, flex, point. And then again, here are the options. You can curl the back toes and sit back, very intense, but some people dig it. You can release the toes and just come down into a forward bend, sitting on that foot. Or you can take the foot to the side, sit to the inside of that leg. Now, if you do this is half virasana. You do want to make sure both sit bones are pretty evenly grounded before you come forward into a forward bend. So you might take your bolster, either long ways or just resting your head in your hands. One more breath. Okay. We might come out of it by bending that front knee. We're coming back into the lunge, the block. So blocks up top. This time we're going to take blocks to the inside of the right foot, move the right foot over. I like to go onto the outer edge of my foot, but that may or may not work for your body. If it doesn't, keep the foot flat and just turn the toes a little bit. But see if perhaps you can go lower this time. Just finding a way to open up through that right leg, still opening up through the left hip flexors, but also dropping the brain, coming into that spacious, yet still and deep mind. We'll call it the witch's mind tonight. A mind that feels connected to your higher wisdom, connected to all beings, whether they're in bodies or not. Three more deep breaths. Coming back onto your hands, bringing that right foot back towards center and then bringing the knee back underneath the hip. We're going to come back to tabletop and almost right into, first we'll do a cow and then we'll go into a Halloween cat. So let's drop the belly, scoop the chest forward, nice little back bend. You're looking up. Take an inhale, and on the exhale, the biggest, brightest Halloween cat you can make. So pushing down with your hands, lifting up through the ribs, bringing the chin into the chest. Curl your toes under and just stretch your hips back a little bit towards your heels. Do that a couple times. Inhale Exhale. One more time. Inhale, still in cat. Exhale, back. And then release the toes. Come all the way down to child's pose, just briefly. And then inhale right back up into cow. Exhale into cat. Release hips to heels. Inhale up. Cow. Exhale, cat. Hips to heels. One last time like this. Inhale up. Exhale round. Hips to heels. And then really come down onto your forehead if you can. Come up onto your fingertips. So your fingertips are on the mat. Your hands are far forward. Press down and forward isometrically with your fingertips and feel the stretch in your upper back and shoulders. And then release the palms down. Keep your hands far forward. We're going to inhale up to tabletop. This time we're going to exhale and lower our thighs, drawing the chest through the arms, a little high cobra. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower the thighs, look up. One more time. Inhale, up. Exhale, hips to heels. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, lower the thighs. And this time we'll come down onto our forearms into Sphinx. So my elbows are under my shoulders or forward of my shoulders, but not behind. Okay? And then if you can reach for your block, you can use the block to support the forehead. If you're using the block, your hands can be face down, or you can turn the palms up. I sort of like that version. And then you just let everything melt. So the focus there with if you're using a block, is a little massage to that third eye. Even if you don't have a block under your head, bring your awareness there. So that sixth chakra, the deep portal into our inner knowing. You can imagine going through that portal, in and down. Let's take 5 breaths here. And with your magic, I want you to visualize or create a light, the top of your skull. And on the inhale, that light is going to just stream down your back to the base of the tail, the tailbone. And on the exhale, let it just come right back up to the crown of the head. Inhale down to the tailbone. You're just visualizing it with your magic. Exhale, release the breath. Let the light float back up. Inhale, stream down to the tailbone. Exhale, release back up. You feel it moving up the spine. Inhale, pull it down. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale, pull it down. Down to the base of the spine. Exhale, release. This last one we're gonna hold. So inhale the breath down to your tailbone. Hold the breath. There's a seed of power down there. Visualize a light. Visualize yourself as full of energy and power. Power of truth and light. Let that go. Let it feed your whole body up through your head and back out. Woo. Okay. From here, we're going to do just a few breaths of seal. So from Sphinx, from your elbows, you're going to come onto your hands. So my hands are angled out. There we go. Arms are not locked. Elbows are somewhat soft, but your shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. And let's just take 6 breaths here. You can continue that visualization of the light moving from the crown down to the base of the spine and back up. And then let's lower down. Let's come all the way down. You can make a pillow with your forearms, or you can take your arms down by your sides. And if you want to, you can shift the hips side to side to loosen up the low back, or you can bend your knees and windshield wiper. From here, you're lying down, but you're going to take your right arm straight out from the shoulder, palm down on the mat. Okay, forehead's on the ground. You're up on your fingertips with the left hand right underneath your shoulder. Go ahead and bend the left knee and just roll over onto your right side. Oh. Okay, let's come back onto our bellies. Take your arms down by your sides. Turn your head to one side just for a few breaths. You might shake the hips out again or windshield wiper. And then moving to side 2, left arm straight out from the shoulder, palm down on the mat. Right hand little kickstand, forehead on the ground. Go ahead and bend the left knee and roll over on, the right knee, roll over onto your left side. So I'm using this hand in front to control the rotation. If you like a lot of rotation, that shoulder, you're going to push down with your right hand, rotate more. If you want less, you can always bring that right foot in front of the straight leg. That'll be less of a twist. Go ahead and roll back onto your belly. Again, take your arms down by your side, turn your head to the opposite cheek. Again, shifting the low back if you need that. Place your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up. First to tabletop. See if you need to wiggle the hips at all. And then come down to child's pose. And just take your hands to your low back and just smooth out the low back. Then placing both hands underneath your shoulders, your head's on the ground, you're going to lift your hips up and come onto the crown of your head. So this is like a tripod position, the position you would be in if you're going to do headstand. We're not going to do headstand, we're just going to massage the head by rolling around it. And then get right on to the flat part of the head. Go ahead and take your arms behind you, interlacing the hands if you can, and possibly raising the hands up to the sky. That'll put you right on the top of the head. And then lower your hands back down, lower the hips to the heels. Just lift your head up for a moment. We're going to grab our block, place it down. I'm have it on the lowest level. You might like the middle level. What we're going to do is rest our forehead, basically our third eye, on the block. And just roll from temple to temple, side to side. And then just rest and center and let the weight of the head and the weight of the body just drop. Let the shoulders drop. Then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Slowly push yourself up. Okay. So we're going to come into one last shape. And crazy witch here. And you get to decide. So the choices are, if you have a strap, you can do head hammock. And I think all you online know head hammock, but just in case you don't, if you want to do head hammock, just set up your strap now. So you need a fairly long strap to do it. And you just loop your strap. So it's one big long loop, one big circle like this. Okay, and just put it to your side. The other option would be legs up the wall. So if you want to do a leg up version but don't have a strap, you could do legs up the wall. And for those of you who are queen witches and just want to just be loved up, you can do reclined butterfly, but don't come into these poses just yet. Just decide what you're going to do, because we're going to do a little meditation first. So you might, if you're doing reclined butterfly, you might want to elevate your bolster by putting either a block or another bolster underneath it, like this. Let me do it sideways. I think it's easier to see. Okay. And then what you would do is sit in front of it like this. And if you want to support, you'll have the soles of the feet together. If you want to support the knees, you can do that with blocks. Okay, so everyone have an option. And I hope you're not already in it. Probably you are. That's okay. Because I want to do something just for a minute before. So we've been focusing her here at the third eye, that place of intuitive knowing, place of our deep inner wisdom. And we're going to do a practice. It's like alternate nostril breathing, but you do it with the magic of the mind. And this is from the tantric tradition. It's actually an advanced form of Nadi Shodhana, because you're not using the fingers. So what you do is you visualize. So just relax the shoulders, and you're going to visualize a stream of silvery light coming up through the left nostril to the third eye. And then you're going to exhale it out the right nostril. You just visualize that silvery stream of light out the right nostril. Then you reverse it. Inhale through the right, up to the third eye. Exhale out the left. We'll do that about 8 times. Inhaling through the left to the third eye. And when it gets to the third eye, visualize a big bright light. Exhale out the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale left. Inhale left to the third eye. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Now take your hands together. Your eyes are closed. You're just going to rub your hands, and then you're going to cup your eyes, including the third eye. Keep your eyes closed, but rub your hands one more time. And bring the hands to the side of your skull, but not actually touching. So right outside of the temples, not quite touching. Just feel the energy from the hands. Feel the energy from the brain, communicating. Okay. Just dust ourselves off. We're going to come into our final pose. If you're doing reclined butterfly, again, just lying over the bolsters, legs up the wall. I think you know what you're going to do. And then if you are doing head hammock, you lie down, put your feet in the air, take the strap around the balls of the feet, lift the head up, and bring the other end of the strap behind the head. So it's at about at the broadest part of the skull. And then you're just going to float and fly. So those of you who didn't get enough broom time, you can just float and fly without the broom. So if you make it tight, it's going to be more of a neck stretch if the feet come forward. If you can bring the feet back a little bit and let the head hang, just supported by the strap, it's a little more relaxing, but both are good. Okay, so now to the fun witchy part. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, okay. So as you rest in this shape, I want you to once again connect in deep inside to this inner witch. And I have some magical witch cards. And I'm going to pull one for each of you. I'm going to pull a witch card, and I'm going to pull a spell card. So I want you to really focus in at your heart. What's the message I most need to hear tonight? Who is the witch who I most embody, or who can be most helpful to me? Okay. Okay. I will, actually, you can watch the recording and see it. So, and the witch is called the listener. So there's messages for all of us. So we'll just listen to all of them, and they'll all be present with us. This is the first one. The listener. The key words are understanding, attention, focus, immersion. She concentrates on the silence of the valley until she can hear the whispering voices hidden within. The creaking of the old tree speaks of its age, the rummaging of the boar of its hunger, the calm breathing of the water buffalo of its placidity. The listener represents our ability to not just hear, but to listen. The will to carefully observe grants us a deeper and more comprehensive understanding of the world and the people around us. Similarly, the courage to listen to our inner voices can shed light on the roots of our feelings and actions. And your spell is organization. I don't know the connection between the two, but purpose, planning, efficiency now come to me so easily. If you are not yet in Shavasana, let's go ahead and come there now. Returning to the earth, returning to corpse pose, feeling at one with all the spirits in the cemeteries and the mausoleums. And I just want to say one last thing. You know, women have been demonized as witches for their ability to heal, their understanding of nature's magic, their ability to give life. So really feel into your witchy power and say a prayer to all our fellow witches across America that they too will stand up for the rights of women and the rights of all people in this country, not just the few. Witches, when you are ready to rise, there is no rush. Come back upright. Back into our little coven. I'll put my hat back on. There we go. May we feel strong together. May we feel our connection. May we feel our power. Let's take a deep breath in. Reach the arms up above your heads. Bring the hands back down to the heart. I think the witches say, so mote it be. That's what some of these cards say. So mote it be. And of course, namaste. The light inside each of us reaches out and touches the light of all. Sweet dreams, sleep well, cast your spells, peace and justice. All right. Have a great night. Go eat some candy. Blow out your candles. Love you guys. Bye.